weird deal. Yesterday, the humidity never dropped below 80%. And I'll show you in a second the cotton. It can strip with that cotton. When you squeeze it, it crackles. And it definitely doesn't do that even today. Today, it's 80% still. And so we got a really good chance of rain this afternoon, the next day, and the next day. We need the rain. We'll take it. It'll make it harder for us to get this cotton out for a while. But we have the stripper in the field, but since we're so close to the barn, I'm gonna blow it off. See there's some of those green bowls that are open and collecting here on the deck of the stripper. So I'm gonna blow it off a little bit, then we'll take it to the barn and get it put out so it doesn't get rained on. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. What I told you, the leaves are kind of crispy, crunchy, and so they've dried a little bit. But when we look at find a bowl and we squeeze it, and it should crack when you squeeze it, and that is not cracking at all. It's just kind of squishing together. So the lint feels dry, but the burrs are not. And so those green bowls that I blew off the stripper, if they were drier, might have been able to knock those burrs out and get the lint out of those if it was a little less humid the other day. But we would not strip today because the bowls are not cracking, and so they would not go through the stripper very well. We wait. It's Thanksgiving today, so maybe the Lord's blessing here. Probably the Lord's blessing to be home with family. We'll get together and watch the Cowboys, because that's what you do in Texas. You watch the Cowboys and you yell at the TV on Thanksgiving. It's kind of a tradition we have. Our family's been a little bit under the weather, and so hoping that clears up and we can get together with my side of the family this year. We kind of just different every year, with just being back with Emily's family with her granddad's passing. We're gonna stay here. We thought we'd be stripping. We may not be for a while if it rains inch or 2 inches like they're saying it could be. So, but thankful for the rain. Take each day new at a time. We can't control the weather, that is for sure. And so we'll just be thankful for each day we get and take each day as a new challenge. Well, prophetic words spoken by me. We definitely did got an inch or a little more rain, and definitely have not been stripping for a while. So it's been, gosh, today is Wednesday, so it's been almost a week from that last, when we didn't even strip then. I want to move the stripper into the barn to get it out of the weather. So maybe today we'll get started. I just went to the field, and there's still some black spots. Yesterday was a good day, dried out a lot. So maybe today or tomorrow, if not today. So, but hopefully we get going. But while it's the morning and it's still not ready, I'm going to replace some of these sensor shoes. These help make sure that the row unit doesn't get too far on the ground. And these it's a sensor, and it tells it to raise it or lower. But you can see that gets kind of worn. And so the thought was, if the ground is a little bit wet and kind of muddy, that might attract some mud and make a mess. So need to replace them anyways. These carriage bolts are maybe a little bit worn, so I'm probably gonna replace those too. I got all the shoes off, and so I'm going to take the old ones off. I want to show you the bolts. This is an old one, and there's a new one. How much of that head of that carriage bolt gets worn off. So we're going to throw these away and put new ones on everywhere with these. It would help if I would have brought these over here. Here's an old one, and there's a new one. Obviously they don't bend. They don't come bent, so I'll have to do that. I will start this one and then bend it up to the curve of the shoe. All right, this one has a round hole with a square head, so I've got to tighten it up first to try to get this head to set. And don't drop the wrench. All right, so now that head is set and it won't turn on me, so now I can loosen it up and then put it through the metal part. If I didn't do that, then there would not be enough threads to catch this nut here. So I had to do that extra step. So once I get that started now I can bend this up and get those holes lined up as well. So I had to make sure I got them in the right slots. They can do this, that this is straight up and down. So this side ends up being pushed all the way. This side and this slot is somewhere kind of in the middle of that slot back there. So you can see there, see the slot all the way to the left on that, and then somewhere kind of in the middle up there. I got that job done, and I gained a little bit of beauty mark right here. It's amazing I only hit it one time. Look, crawling underneath here. I think I have a perfect 120-degree angle from the edge of a hexagonal bolt head, so that'll be fun. But that job's done, so I'm gonna pull the stripper out, and the main drive line on these headers, I need to go through and make sure there's some roll pins. Dad's had those shear off before. We just didn't check that before we started the other day. So I'll check that, blow all that out, and make sure that's good. Then I think the stripper will be ready to go as soon as the ground's ready for us. All right, so I got the drive line opened up here. So one thing I'm gonna look for, this is a roll pin here. Make sure that they don't get sheared off and that they're still doing their job. Then also these bolts here, I think this is what Dad's had sheared off before. So there's some of those throughout the units here. I'm gonna look at that and make sure those are all good. And then also I'm gonna blow all this out and clean it out. Back to stripping today. I think good. We probably didn't start yesterday. The ground was just a little bit, there's some black spots still here, but I think we're gonna be okay. It's not tracking too bad or gonna pack us down too bad here. So glad to get going. Hopefully, we'll get, Dad did some math. He said we should be able to get 3, not as big as last time modules, but pretty full modules. That'll finish up this field, and then so it'd be good to get one field knocked out. I don't know if that'll happen today or not. Depends on the humidity tonight and how it goes, but back to going. All right, so we call these rows over here, we call those point rows. And what I'm stripping right now, we call those cutoff rows. because they cut off the point rows. I don't know. I know other people call them different things, but that's what I've always heard. I'm calling them, and Dad calls them. So cut off row, point rows. We don't have many fields like this. Most of ours are just straight rows, but we used to do, when we used to farm with the terraces, we used to have a ton of this. And so kind of a puzzle when you're in the field, making sure you don't get stranded in the middle of the field because you mistimed how many rounds you had on your point rows, cutting them off. So anyways, cut off row, point row. This video probably doesn't do this justice, but this is a pretty good cotton. This, especially, again, I've been saying this a lot, as dry as it's been, but pretty cool to see what the Lord can do. Pretty awesome. Alright, last rows of this field. We'll get this knocked out. Get this trumped. I'll clean off the stripper. We'll get it tarped. And then we will move on to the next field tomorrow. So I get all this lint, it's hard to see, it's caught up in these vents, so try to get that off. Any lint on the stripper, just a chance for fire, anything like that. So every night, this is what I do. All right, last module done. We got 4 good sized modules on this. It's about 50 acres or so. So we'll get that. I'm gonna turn these in. We have an app that we use, the Gen. We turn the modules in the Gen, and the module trucks will come pick them up. Hopefully tomorrow, and then because there's not much cotton being Gen, that hopefully these will get Gen quick. We'll get the grades back. All right, well, I'm gonna end the video there tonight. Whoa, my scar. You wanna know what my wife told me when she saw my scar yesterday? I think it was yesterday. She laughed and she called me Harry Potter in a British accent. Can you believe that? So, love you too, Em. I'm glad to get that field done. Just kind of felt like it was an odd start to harvest. We got 1 module done, then family got sick. It was Thanksgiving. We had the rain, and then so good to get back in the field, get that knocked out. So getting 4 modules. We say that we kind of average, say, about 10 bales of processed cotton per module. And so a bale is, we say, 500 pounds. And so if we could have gotten, 40 bales on 50 acres, that's getting close to a bale of cotton per acre for the land acre, which is really good. A bale of cotton to the row acre is really good in a normal year. So again, I said a lot, but for the year that we've had, where there's hardly any cotton anywhere, the rain was just weird, the weather was strange, to get that, man, I'm really excited about that. So hopefully the rest of the cotton will follow suit. And but well, in the module, you got some burrs, some trash in there that comes out. There's seed and there's lint. And we do get paid on this for the seed, but most of the money comes from the lint. And so 35% of that may be lint. That would be a decent, we call that lint turnout. We get paid on the lint, and then there's a certain amount that's seed and the rest is trash. You don't get paid on the trash. So won't know that until it gets ginned, and then we'll kind of get a rough idea how much we made. And then each bale that's processed at the gin, they take a sample out of it and send it to a classing office, and they'll do bigger tests, more tests on that, testing for the fiber quality and things like that. And then we'll get either docked money, cents off of the loan, or we'll get money added to it if we have good quality cotton. So I don't know, the gin manager Rex said that the stuff they had gin so far had pretty good grades, so that would be nice. You'd get a little bit of a premium price for your cotton. So anyways, we'll see. Hopefully we can keep going. Other things we got to do now is all of the fallow ground that was wheat that didn't make any wheat this past year. A bunch of winter weeds have come up because of the rain, so we're going to start spraying that in the mornings. Once the modules get off the field, then we can sow wheat after where we strip. So that's kind of what the mornings will look like when it's more damp, and the afternoons hopefully we get a good afternoon of stripping cotton. So it's about to get busy, but that's a good thing, and we're thankful for the work. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and as we get closer to Christmas, good Christmas time as well. Remember, if you're gonna farm it.